Would you like to know how to market your construction business? I'm actually working with two construction companies, helping them market their business. We're having amazing success. I'll take you behind the scenes of what we're doing for these two businesses. We're also going to take a look at common advice, common marketing advice given to construction companies, and I'll let you know my perspective. There's also different stages of marketing, and depending on where your business is at will depend on what stage you want to focus on. I'm confident that by the end of this episode, you're going to learn something that you've never heard of before. Let's dive right in. You've probably done searches like this before, searching for marketing ideas for your construction business, and there's a wide range of advice. I found a resource here that's got 20 different ideas. I think it's pretty comprehensive of the advice that's being shared, so let's look at these 20. All right, as we scroll down here, let's look at tip number 1. Create a professional visual website. So I would agree, a website is a pretty critical component, but when I'm looking for advice of how to market my business, it's kind of like, yeah, a website's kind of given, so maybe that's why it's listed here as number 1, but let's keep looking, see if we can find some more helpful advice. Tip number 2, create informative and engaging content. Okay, so this is actually really good advice. I don't know if the person who wrote this article realized how good that is, because if you create content in a specific way, it can actually pull in your target audience. But this is just saying, yeah, make blog posts. And most people that will attempt to follow this advice aren't going to create the right type of content, and so it's really just going to be there to nurture people that already know about them. Okay, number 3 looks generic again. Set up your GMB, which is Google My Business, and social media profiles. So setting up profiles isn't going to do you any good unless you know a specific strategy of how to use each of those profiles or each site. Like if you're going to start posting to Facebook, do you know the Facebook strategy? Or what about LinkedIn? LinkedIn and Facebook have completely different strategies. So if you're just going to post content and you have something that's like, oh, I'll post it to Facebook, I'll post it to Instagram, I'll post it to LinkedIn, let's just see what sticks. I'm going to recommend against that approach. Okay, create a profile on customer review sites. So if you want to advertise for local construction projects, these websites are going to be very critical. I've definitely used these when I've done projects at my home and at my filming houses. To join major industry associations. Joining it, it's not going to do any good, but if you go to them and you network, that can be a very good way of finding more business and whatnot, but it just depends. Like, I don't know how that's going to help you get more customers and market in the construction industry. So I think if you go to one of these meetings or associations, you're going to be rubbing shoulders with other construction professionals, not necessarily your customers. So while this might be a good idea for you to do, I don't know how it relates to marketing. Number 6, they suggest to re-engage with past clients. Okay, stay in touch with them. That's a good idea, but how? Like, how do you do? What should you offer them? You know, that's where we need to take this advice a little bit further. Incentivize referrals. Okay, yeah, that can be pretty good. You have a customer and you give them an incentive to give you a referral. That can be a good strategy. Number 8 that they suggest, sponsor local events and teams. This is potentially a great idea. I don't really know. I don't have a lot of experience in that, but with only a sentence or 2 of description, I think this is something that you might need a book on. Like, okay, how do I do that? What's the purpose of this local event or this local team? All right, number 9, leverage video marketing campaigns. Okay, so I can talk about that. I actually produce 50 different YouTube channels, and I do hear a lot of advice from others about, yeah, you've got to create video content. Lucky for you, I'm going to teach you the right type of content that will actually attract people who've never heard of you before, but are really searching for your services. Another good piece of advice here, build strategic local industry partnerships. So maybe it's like other construction companies that work in another space and you can give referrals to each other. Okay, sounds like a generally good idea. Leverage email marketing. Okay, so email marketing can be fantastic to really stay top of mind with your audience. Email is critical. But again, a whole book could be written on this one strategy. All right, I think they're trying to stretch their list here. Make the most of multi-channel marketing. Cast a wide net. Reach your audience through social media, email, your website. Okay, so they're just repeating things that they listed before. Number 13, use high-resolution images in all of your marketing. It's like, okay, that's not telling you how to market, but when you do find a way to market, use good imagery, and in a construction business, that's probably really good advice. All right, but I want some marketing meat. Like, what do I do to market? How do I do this? Okay, number 14, Use 3D home design software to sell the vision. Okay, so maybe this is a great tool to use when you're having that sales conversation. Let's keep going. Invest time in networking. Okay, I mentioned that when I was talking about association and events and stuff like that. Get featured with building material companies. Okay, so yeah, if there's companies that will feature you and those will be seen by your target audience, whether you're in a local area or nationwide. All right, get involved in the community, they say. Okay, I can agree with that, but specifically, what does that mean? What does involvement look like, and what community events? Set up conversion tracking. Okay, so this is very important. Like when you have your sales funnel set up, you're tracking where leads are coming from, how they're being handled all along the way, what your conversion rates are. You'll learn what are your best lead sources, where does the revenue come from? So that is very important to track. All right, and tip number 20, they want you to reference your online materials in your physical locations. So if you've got like a showroom or something like that, they want you to reference your website and other online materials there. All right, so I think we need something a little bit more tactical. So let me bring you here to YouTube and let me show you something. If I come to the search bar, I've got a question in my clipboard. I'll paste it right there. How to manage a construction project step by step. I'll hit return and Jason Schroeder appears at the top. This is a channel that I produce. He's one that I wanted to showcase for you. How did we get Jason here? Let me show you another example, and you'll notice that these are questions. So now I'm going to paste in here, what's the role of a superintendent in construction? Hit return, and wow, we've got Jason in position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5, position 6. I don't know who 7 is, but he's an 8. That's incredible. How did we do that? Well, the reality is you have expertise. And people are searching for that expertise. What they do is they go to Google and YouTube and they type in questions, just like these two examples. And there's a really easy way for you to appear at the top. All you've got to do is find out what are these questions and then make videos to answer those exact questions. So with marketing strategies for construction businesses, clearly there's a need, but the information that's out there is very, very vague. I want to give you some specific tactical training on this so you can get the same results as Jason Schroeder. I filmed this entire strategy in another episode right here on YouTube. It's called YouTube SEO, the Leaf Strategy. This strategy is the exact way that we got Jason Schroeder to rank at the top. So you definitely want to watch that episode next, YouTube SEO, the Leaf Strategy. I'll see you there.